Let's start talking about Playbox. And this video will be dedicated to about the role of an organizer, about the opportunities Playbooks provides for football organizers. First of all, let's immediately say what Playbox is. It is a digital platform for all participants in the football process. At this stage, we have implemented player profiles and organizers, so partially partners. Locations will be added in the process. And teams and all participants in the system should in some way circulate and interact with each other so that the whole system worked. Football games must be held for football games to be held. Players must want to play. Accordingly, at the core of everything lies the player's personal motivation and profiles. That is, players should want to develop their profiles, compete with each other, and grow in the ecosystem. At this stage, player profiles are managed by the organizers. Let's briefly explain. There is a feed of games. Here we are on the landing page. What the product is briefly described. A list of games is shown. The player's profile on the results page, which they can access immediately after the game. And accordingly, a leaderboard with many filters. Let's proceed to registration. To begin with, let's say that every user of the system can enter as a guest, see what's happening today without needing to register. They can come in specific games, watch, study, and only then decide whether or not to register. You can even search for players. Let's start the process of registration. To register in the system, like everyone else, you need to enter an email, password, and so on. But since I am already a registered user, I will log into the marketplaces using my existing account, on which, by the way, they have already been. Here are 500 DIMs. I've logged into my profile and landed on the event feed. This is what an organizer's profile looks like. Let's look at what tools it has. You can edit it. Here's the photo, which I've already uploaded. Photos go through moderation. This means each user uploads their own photo, receives a card, and we confirm it in the system. Next, the username, gender, position. These are the player's data. Nationality can also be indicated. Let's find out once, twice. I will specify, for example, nationalities. We've chosen a small one, but that's okay. Next, each user can add their contact information. Organizers can add their card details. We have them protected and they are not shown to anyone. This is how the card addition process looks. Here you write your card number, write the bank's name, and you confirm. Here this card appears. You can edit or delete it. Users joining games will not see your data, yet they can copy and, accordingly, sell it. Therefore, please take this seriously to ensure the money reaches you. Avoid mistakes. As for these data, we are now. Here, you can also write a few lines about yourself here. This information will be shown to users when they view your portfolio. They will visit your profile and see, so what do you represent? Let's take a little look at the administrator profile. Accordingly, we have, here's the username, your organizer status, the photo, and the ability to edit data. On the tab, organizers have, or rather, there are two tabs. One tab shows upcoming games. On the second tab, your statistics and history are shown. The first block contains information about you for users. In the second block, there is your organizer statistics, namely the number of games held and the average rating you currently have. It is made up of ratings, players, and the number of ratings you have received. Next, the history of all your events is shown. Let's go through and show in more detail. That is, games and ratings. You can go to the analytics page and study more in detail here. So there's also analytics, two filters at the top. You can view by formats. Topics, you can view your development by date. Here's the rating for the current month and the number of reviews. Here's the amount you earned and the number, the average, precisely the number of games you earned per game. How many games were held? How many players came? How many new players came? And accordingly, the top 10 players this month. The player's name, how much he paid, how much he played. This will simply help them keep track of the most active members of your community. There's also a main list of complaints that users voice based on the results of the event. For example, unbalanced teams, the quality of equipment, meaning gear, price, and so on and so on. And this will help you improve the quality of your games, bringing them to perfection. Let's now go over the information about the games. So here we have what is called the results page. In the top section, we'll show information about the event, match details like time, date, when the build, about the format on which the game was conducted. Here, a video of the match, rating, evaluation, the number of ratings given for this game. These two people rated everything, although there were about 16 people playing, that is, participants were not particularly motivated to rate. You can vote for the best player here, but it is advisable to do so consciously if you really knew who played and so on. Then the game results. Here we have tabs for matches, teams, and tables. Teams, player statistics, and the other team, and the tournament table. How many games played, wins, draws, losses, goal difference, points earned, and BBX. BBX is our rating, which players receive based on event receipts. Let's now figure out what options we have in settings. Let's study that too. That is the settings section, the city, where you can make changes on our location. You can create games absolutely in any city, move from city to city, arrive at new locations, and create games on our already prepared system, stadiums, language. So, my default is set to English, but we have a system of 6 languages, and new ones will appear. That is, you can easily change the language, for example, to Georgian, and the whole system will change to Georgian accordingly. The same can be done with any other language. Let's switch back to English for now. So, next is email. You can change it. List of banned players. We have bans in the system. So you can see guys who are a bit uninterested when it comes to games, payments, anything. Well, you get the idea. Or for example, unban them if you wish. Control panel settings for your mesh. Alright, we have the following options. Game auto finish. This means the games will end after the time you said. And the highlights button. So, if you want to record, besides goals and substitutions, some funny or active actions of other players, you can turn these button on or off. Here, and accordingly, it will either be displayed or not displayed on the game behavior panel. Next is the FAQ section, which contains all the additional information. Telegram community, contacts, connected applications. In this case, it is Telegram. This means we have integration with Telegram. With a Telegram bot, the Telegram bot helps to unite the app, website, and directly the bot itself. A unified control center. As you can see here, there is information. Notifications also arrive about who signed up, who left, who. The team confirmed participation. In general, a large number of notifications come to me in the official Telegram bot. Here I have a website. People upload avatars, we model, and accordingly reports, all thanks to the Telegram bot. We'll get back to the blind person a little later then. What's next? You can delete an account, you can log in. Well, and here, there's also a list of our social networks. Now let's move on to the organizer's capabilities and to how to create games so they appear in the system and manage them. In each organizer's profile, there is a button Create Games. Here you click the plus, and it redirects you to the event types page. We have a powerful matchmaking engine and the various types of games in our system. In short, how our game system is set up. We have regular games and tournaments. Regular games are when anyone interested, alone or with friends, can join and come to play. Tournaments are organized events with 4 to 8 teams where you can play in a round-robin system, in playoffs, with some rewards, trophies, and so on. Accordingly, this is the first level. These are regular games and tournaments. The second level we have is rated and non-rated games. In this case, we show the rating and cash. Accordingly, in rated games, the user receives statistics, that continuous statistics. which affect the development of his profile over time. That means he can track his progress, or regression, or maybe track them by a large number of metrics, and also changes in rating. And if the game is unrated, the user can also receive their results, but they are stored only within the current event. They do not appear in the user's profile, so they go into their history. But how can I put this correctly? Each event does not influence subsequent ones. That is, only games where the rating is considered influence the profile's development. And finally, the setting is the type of entry. That is, there are two types of entry. We have by one on themes. If a player registers individually, then, accordingly, the team is divided by the organizer, either on the spot or by agreement. There are algorithms that help divide players by rating if, for example, many unfamiliar players come to the game. Either the guys negotiate among themselves and split up. Also, there is a way of registration called team draft. Team draft is when the guys who want to play as a team create their team, invite each other via a link, or from their list of friends. Those who do not have a team but would like to play in such events are usually at a slightly higher level. They enter the drafts and have a chance to be invited from the draft. Now let's take a closer look at how to create each of these types of games. Alright, we'll start with a ranked game. We choose a ranked game, pick a location. Here you are shown the venues that are available in the city. We add the venues with their own hands. And organizers, before starting to develop their region, send a list of venues. We add all the parameters. When creating a game, new venues are automatically folded into the lobby. Here is the list of venues. All venues. We are located in Tbilisi, and accordingly, we have a venue, and you can add it to your favorites. So you don't have to search for venues each time you want to play. If you have venues, you simply choose from them and play. Let's choose a venue. Dates. Game time, the 14th. Sometime, duration of the game. How many minutes will you play? The available number of spots. More people than this number will not be able to sign up for the game. And participation cost. Here, settings. We see all the events. That means we have several possibilities. The first type is public. Public games can be created by verified organizers. They create games for the entire audience. We want your game to be unseen by anyone. You could play it as a closed game. You can create a private game, which is what we will do now. And you can also create your own community in Telegram. Connect with a bot and announce or not announce games directly in the bot, or rather not in the bot, but in the Telegram community. I'll show you using the example of my Georgian community. Here we have a chat, and these kinds of announcements are created, and people can press on them here. Open the lobby, and register for games. Let's look at our game that will be today. It takes a little long to open. Well, I am the organizer. And look, there is a large number of players. So the creation settings decided so it doesn't distract us. Accordingly, we will just create a private block. We won't create in the chat yet because we are working mainly in the main bot. Next, you can specify additional settings, what you provide, what functionality, such as jerseys, medical kit, refereeing, water. We already provide everything. Additional requirements for players. So far, but we only have one requirement, which is contacts. That is, if you set contact keys, then the player will register for the game. We will check whether their phone number is specified or not. This is done so that the organizer has the opportunity to contact the player who has a phone number added. It often happens that players sign up but don't show up, and there is no way to contact them, and this is what we are preventing. The list of requirements and settings for organizers' requirements will be expanded. So requirements will be added here, such as profile completeness, like a photo. For instance, presence, let's say, contact, the presence of something else. For example, also gaming, meaning a certain number of games that the person has played, or having a certain rating, or only in a certain position, and so on and so on. That is, the organizer himself will be able to configure the players he wants to attract. You can leave some comment. For example, a popular one. What Do not come in boots. Many play in cleats, which is not very welcomed. You can also schedule a publication. Accordingly, Book will post at the time it is left, meaning it will be delayed. Sent to the game. The next step is to set up public rules for players so they understand the rules they will be playing by. We set the number of players to 15. As far as I remember, we will play using a round-robin system. Let's figure out this system. So we have two types rules, 対象 games. Accordingly, instead are conducted in a round-robin system, in a round-robin system. Each team plays an equal amount of time. Okay. So let's say you set some algorithm that we play in 3 teams. Accordingly, in a round-robin system, certain number of rounds. So one team will play 2 consecutive games. Rest 1, play 2 consecutive games. Rest 1. And the number of rounds you specify, this algorithm will repeat that many times. There is a system. The winner stays. And here, accordingly, the rules are a bit different. Here, the winning team will remain on the field. You also set the match time and goals for which are required for the fallen team's premature end of the game, respectively, for the win. Scoring this number of goals, the game will end, and the fallen team will remain on the field. This generally allows strong teams to play longer and slightly increase the intensity of the match, responsibility, and pulling the results. And next, this is you can set the conditions for the maximum number of games for one team. That is, let's say if a team is too strong and it keeps winning, you can set that the maximum it can play on the field is 3 games. Even if it wins 3 games in a row, after 3 games, it will sit out. These are the rules. Let's now play the game, apply the rules, and show how it works. You confirm the rules. See, we can't create the game right now, because while we were explaining, time has already passed. Let's reschedule, set it for 14:35. So, we're creating the game accordingly. For Friday such and such a field, all the information in the field has been entered as Fantasista. There's a record here. Players can register. You can look at the point on the map. It will redirect you. So you can share the events. There are 3 ways to share the game. By code, share a link, or copy it. And here, in the 3 dots, you have additional settings for the conduct user game. There's let's list all the possibilities the organizer has within the framework of the event. You can edit events. You can assign roles for the game. For instance, if you become some kind of cool organizer and want to spend time on this, you can appoint guys who will conduct the games for you. So this is a standard practice. Sometimes this is done. Simply, if 2 people work together, or if you've reached a level where you have employees, you just assign them to your games. Then we have streaming settings. And the main thing is to start the game. That is, when everyone is ready, you can start the match. So let's go through everything step by step. Let's edit the events. Suppose we saw that the game was recorded or not recorded. So we have for example, fields reserved. And we were told, let's reschedule the game for another time. You go and change it. And all the players who were registered in the group will receive a notification that the match time has changed. And similarly, let's say we canceled the planned game and we will also appoint an organizer for this game who will be on the field, responsible for ensuring everything goes well. I will pause a bit on what kind of types of rights on our platform when you transfer to other users. You see, this is the referee and manager. It says here that the referee will not be able to edit the results after the event is completed and will not be able to see feedback. Here is the participant. That is, the referee is usually used when there is one organizer of the game and they need a second phone to record the games. The result is visible, and the second row is manager. The manager is a fully fledged participant in the system, just like the organizer. The only thing is, without the ability to creating logos. So a person controls everything but cannot create games. Let's assign this or that manager to the game, and then we can edit their role. For example, if you decide to change or delete it, we will get to the next settings a bit later. Now let's go over how it looks from the player's perspective when they join your game. When joining your game, the player lands on a so-called checkout page, where information about the event is provided, along with details on how the money is distributed, what they are paying for. We want to maintain a system of transparency so that if every user knows that must money for a specific service, then they will be more motivated to attend games, will trust more, and so on. Furthermore, they have 3 payment methods. The first payment method is a left wallet. This is a method where each user can top up a certain amount of money in advance, buy a package, receive an additional bonus for this. The more you top up your wallet, the more bonus you get. And additionally, you get a 5% discount for participating in each game. Furthermore, the user can pay once with a card or through Google Pay, or he can pay directly to the organizer with cash or a transfer. As you can see, paying with a wallet changes the price. Organizers add the participations, and the commission remains unchanged depending on the payment methods. Suppose, as an organizer, I will enter my own game and confirm my participation. The computer freezes. Well, here I am in the game. I've logged in. It shows that the fantasist has joined and paid. In the future, I would like to additionally draw attention to the fact that all organizers receive a notification in the system after players perform an action. For example, let's consider Telegram notifications, but the exact same notifications are sent to the organizers in the app. The fantasist has joined. Now I will leave the game, and here they are asking me if I really want to do this. I confirm my action. I will receive a notification that the fantasist has bypassed. The same thing every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. All users in the city receive a notification that a new game has been created, and they are motivated to join, learn about it, and so on. Each player has a way to contact the organizer. We provide contact information, and any player can choose an organizer and write to them. Next, let's proceed to directly conduct games. To conduct the games, we will use a test bot so as not to spam existing users in the system. We will demonstrate all of this using a test example. Let's log into the test bot. Unfortunately, in the test bot, to save memory, we have disabled photos. On here, accordingly, we have a button that simulates games. Using this simulation as an example, I will explain what kinds of games there are. Overall, share you can create from the player's profile if you have such options, but you can switch profiles between player and organizer profiles. To do this, you need to hold your avatar icon for a couple of seconds, and a panel will open where you can switch. Now we have entered the organizer's profile. We have an active game here. Let's say we finish it now so it doesn't linger. The rating is being calculated there. Alright, we go back, so we create a new test game. For this, we use a special preset in which we have events are created already filled with players. Accordingly, when I, as an organizer, created the match. For my audience, let's go through the bot. Here I see the list of registered players, and I see their payment methods. Suppose if I join and pay with a wallet, then accordingly I will have a different icon here. To start the match, I click here on the 3 dots and click game. There. We have several steps before the game starts. The first step is to confirm the list of participants. At this stage, we can edit it. We can remove players from the list. So let's say Ramil will not be coming to the game, and we accordingly remove him from the game. That means he will not be there. Now we continue to play. We additionally confirm the number of teams that will participate and the rules. Depending on the number of teams, the format changes. That is, the number of players is divided by the number of teams, and acceptable formats are proposed. For example, we cannot play in a 5-on-5 format if 8 people signed up for the game. Well, let's, in this case, play with 3 teams in a 5-on-5 format. This means each team will have 1 substitute, and we will play in a round-robin system. The match by default will last 1 minute for testing, and the number of rounds will also be, let's set 5 rounds. So we start the game. Here we see the lineups, and we set the lineups. We see that the orange, blue, and red teams each have 1 substitute. Here's the rating of each team, and trust level is the team's trust level. That there. You can change the lineups, and the team's level will change accordingly. After we set the final lineups, we confirm them and start the game. And the system automatically generates a match schedule for us, meaning 5 rounds on the team's tournament table, the number, or rather the lineup of participants. So, well, let's say we made a mistake and want to reset everything. Some player wants to join. A key point I want to mention is that once the game has started, it's no longer possible to join. You can only go to the game menu to the results page. Suppose we want to change something. We want to change the lineup or we want to change the rules. For this, we click the 3 dots. All organizer options are in this additional menu, and we click Reset Match. Here. The rules have all changed. The event rolls back to the stage where was present before the organizer started the game, and even a removed player, he returned back accordingly. He will need to be deleted again. So it happens that the organizer deleted a player, but it turns out the player came back. Suppose he's saying, I will make it in time. So let's go through it once more. Everything is quick here. Let's even leave the players. The round-robin system 3-1-5, we saved all that. The lineup will now change. One of the teams will have 2 substitutes. That's it, let's start the game. Ranked games are each conducted in real time because our algorithms take into account the time a player spends on the field, both for calculating the rating and for calculating additional metrics, goals, assists. We can look at this one, for example, goal minutes, pass minutes, or in what unit of time a player scored more goals. This also affects team achievements, like goals in the last minutes, last seconds, and so on. And accordingly, an important point is that to confirm the results, we ask the organizers to film the matches, to make the matches interesting for us, with display all the actions happening in the game on an interactive graphic. Here's an interactive graphic, which is a simple link that will broadcast everything happening on the field. Let's imagine that here we have a soccer field, and a game is underway. We will sequentially start the matches. We enter the game. The game's tab is divided into 2. The game page is divided into 2 tabs. Accordingly, the timeline of events, goals, and assists, everything will be displayed here, along with the lineups. Then there is also an additional menu here. You can reset the match if there are any issues with it, or simply delete it. And so accordingly, these results will be cancelled. So, let's further review what options we have here for the players. That is, by clicking on each player, you can perform actions with them, and you can go to their profile, view additional details here, and remove them from the event. Let's remove this player from the event. Suppose he called and said that I got stuck in traffic and unfortunately cannot come. We are removing him from the team. Here we have the list of reasons. It's not quite clear for now, but simply put it is, does he have a reason to leave? Or is it without a reason? Let's say he didn't even inform us. Well, let's do it for a reason. Done, we've removed him, now our team is in the minority. But she had substitutes, so let's move one of the substitutes into the main lineup. We are moving him. When moving, it is also asked, are we moving him for 1 game or permanently? Meaning he will start all subsequent matches in the main lineups. Let's move him permanently. Alright, there is 1 substitute left in the team, and we start. In the timeline, by the way, it will be shown that before the match we fielded this player. But in general, yes, let's start the game. Here we have the broadcast. Alright, let's go. Team rosters, the tournament table on the left side of the screen, the scoreboard, and the actions taking place. At the bottom, the team lineups are shown with player ratings, positions, usernames, and photos. There you go. Let's go to the additional menu again. So what do we have here? You can add a photo for the player. For example, if he came to send a report, let's say he behaved badly or did something inappropriate. And players, as well as event participants, can send these reports and thereby maintain a healthy atmosphere within the event. We can move the player. For example, we can substitute to just remove from the field, make a substitution. Say, in this case, let's make a substitution. There is 1 player among the substitutes, so we'll change him for another. Matches last 1 minute, but since we have auto-finish turned off, the game will last another minute. The organizer can stop and record highlights. Finish the match, watches match prematurely. Let's record a couple of goals. Here's from Emil assisted by Evgeny. The blue scored. The tournament table changes. But suddenly the orange has leveled the score. Here. But then, after discussing, the players decided that the orange goal was scored against the rules. We decided to remove it, so we click here. Either we want to edit the goal details, or we just delete it. In this case, let's delete it. We are deleting this goal. That's it, the result has changed, and the tournament table has changed back. The same happens on the results page, namely here, right? For example, the rating hasn't been calculated yet, meaning the game is still ongoing. It's important to note that in the game's feed, it's also shown to all users that our game is live, and they can go in, watch, and so on. Moreover, you can insert the link to the streaming of your match here. Let's enter one. We will make this narrow link to the game more visible. The link is copied. We insert it here, save it. And now a link to the stream that will be running is shown here. Players will be able to view it accordingly when they enter the game. Take a quick look. They continue the game and finish it. Accordingly, the game is finished. Our data is hidden, all matches, and we continue to start the next game. Now, here's the lineup. Let's, I don't know, replace Reyes with the substitute, Kazak. And let's assume Kazak will score a goal with no assist. That's it. Or, great, Kazak, Reyes. There. And let's add some kind of highlights. Someone slipped, fell funnily, and we won that action. Also remember this for future timestamps. Yeah, I want to point out that one organizer cannot conduct two matches at the same time. And for some reason, it doesn't even allow him to open a second game. And most likely this is because my computer is taking a really long time to load. But the first game is still ongoing. Let's try again. Unable to enter the game? Unfortunately. Alright, we will return to the previous game and also finish it. Here's we finished 2 games. Suppose there was a torrential downpour. Exactly. And we decide to conclude the events of this stage. So, why is there a video playing here in a small window? Let's turn it off. Turned off? Okay, no. We will not touch it. We decide to end the video. For this, we press end event. We are finishing the event. Now we need to confirm the match results. This is the responsibility of every organizer. So, that changes in the ranking order to assign them to players. Let's say now we go to any player's page and see that their results are awaiting confirmation. And to confirm these results, the organizer must now upload the video. Here, you can change the match results, you can change the goal scores. Let's suppose, I don't know. Let's add some additional highlight. Let's add the goal for the orange team. The score is, we need to add the time, yes, to set it correctly there on the first minute. We have, and the assistant will be Vasya Gushtin. That's it, we added. Orange team has won. Accordingly, our tournament table, here it is by the way, hasn't changed. We will definitely fix this bug. And here it hasn't changed either, only inside the match it seems to change. Yes, okay. We added these actions, but after we launch the final decalculation, they will definitely apply. Look, we press confirm, Fantasista. We're uploading the video. Right. And an important point is that we can generate highlights. To generate highlights, we need to enter the time difference from when the stream started. And then when we started the first game in the app, let's say, we launched the stream 10 seconds before the first match. We write 10 here, generate time codes. Here, on creation, we can insert these time codes anywhere. Copy them to YouTube. The players can immediately watch their key actions on YouTube after the game. If we want to show them on the timeline in the game feed, it means, well, or rather, in the feed where we present actions based on the game results, we can also enable or disable it here. In this case, let's enable it. Alright, we confirm the game. Here we click here. Confirm and calculate rating. Here the score is 1-1, it has been applied. The tournament table here will also change. That is, we change the results, and the rating changed because of this. All players will receive a notification. The organizer should, in theory, receive, or to the test bot write, report. Yes, he should receive a report that the event is completed. This certain amount of money was earned, this many players showed up, and in general, yes, you can see all of this. Let's say that after the game someone discovered an error and wants to report it. For this, we have a report system, both for the player and the organizer. I have a add highlight button here, but that's because I have the highest profile, and that doesn't really affect anything right now. Obviously, we click send report. Here, we can either change a specific action or add the new highlight. Let's change a specific action. For example, instead of Misha, it wasn't Ruslan who was out, but Dimobex. And we will send this kind of report to our system. It arrives to us, we process it, review its details, and accordingly make corrections. Well, let's go back. Basically, there. For some reason, the bot one hasn't disappeared, so let's refresh the page. It should have disappeared. Yes, that's it. The game is finished. Now let's switch to our profile and take a look. Okay, now our game results history. No scores were given to us. Due to the round-robin system, we have this particular game. Well, next, let's conduct a game based on the winner stays system. We are creating another event. So let's copy the link right away. Won't we join the game? So, and let's start it. And we keep the format. Winner stays 4 teams of 5. Match duration is 1 minute. Let's set 2 goals until the end. That is, as soon as a team scores 2 goals, the game will automatically end. So, when the team will remain on the field. And we will also set the maximum number of games the team can stay on the field to prevent situations of strong imbalance that what one team constantly plays. So, let's say they can win, but can stay on the field a maximum of 3 times in a row. Confirm. Generate the lineups. Here we'll leave everything as it was. Here, now on the results page, we have a start game button. Since we don't know which team will start first, to avoid breaking the logic, we must choose who will start. You can flip a coin on the field, or the organizer can decide. You can select only 2 teams to start the events, and accordingly, for their calculation, we'll proceed in a winner stays on format. We start the event. Here we go. Let's take a look. Let's have the blue team win 3 times in a row. So you can see that by the 4th game, they will already disappear. Let's note that crossmatch is 2-0. The blue team is in first place. Let's stop the next game. The blue team stays on the field again. They win again. The score is 2-0. They have 2 wins and a 3rd game. Blue, let's go again. Will they win? Alright, as you saw, the blue team won 3 games with a score of 2-0. We start the next match, and the blue team is no longer playing. And the orange and pink teams are playing. The game format is Team Draft. Here, the Team Draft, it's a format where the players registered in teams on their own. In this case, we created a test game again, and we see that the players are already divided into teams, and the organizers don't need to separate them. Those guys who don't have a team can join the draft. They will be shown here and can be added to a team when creating it. In this case, we will exit the draft. The process looks exactly the same. So we stop the game. It's no longer necessary to confirm the players because they added the format themselves by setting a round-robin system. I want to point out that in the near future, there will be an opportunity to conduct games in 1 stage. In 2 stages, that is, with playoffs, group stages, and so on, we continue the game. Teams are already divided into rosters, but nevertheless, you can even edit them here. The game begins. The same process with the stream. Accordingly, we copied the link, paste it,